Hi everyone, this is Cooking with Kurt. Today my husband Donald and I are going to show you how to make a Thai milk tea meal crepe cake with Thai tea pastry cream tucked between layers of buttery crepes.
This flavor is often found in Thai iced tea, and it goes really well in this deliciously light cake. And we're not using an oven today.
That's right. This is an oven-free, no-bake cake requested by YouTube user King Kong. Thank you so much for your request. We hope you like this video. To start, we're going to make the crepe batter. Take a small saucepan and heat over medium heat. Add in 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter and brown it till it starts to smell nutty. It should look something like this. Set this aside to cool. Take a medium-sized saucepan, add in 3 cups of whole milk, and heat until it starts steaming, just before it starts to boil, but not yet boiling. Take it off the heat and allow it to cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. While waiting for the brown butter and milk to cool, take a large mixing bowl, add in 6 room temperature eggs, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and half a teaspoon of table salt. Whisk this together till they're well combined. Then using a sieve, sift in 1½ cups of cake flour and whisk this in. When you no longer see any pockets of dry flour, slowly whisk in the warm milk and then the warm brown butter, and continue to whisk together, mixing it very well, just until you no longer see any large lumps. Be careful not to overbeat the batter. And definitely do not mix this in a blender, as blending the batter will make the resulting crepes too chewy. Pour this batter through a sieve to remove any remaining lumps into a container that ideally has a spout. Cover with a lid or plastic wrap. The batter is supposed to be very watery and not like thick pancake batter. We're going to let it rest in the fridge overnight. Allowing the batter to relax will help create lighter crepes, which is what we want. The following day, take the batter out of the fridge and let it come to room temperature.
Next, we're going to make the Thai milk tea pastry cream. Take a mortar and pestle, add in 2 pods of green cardamom and crush the seeds and shell together. Take a tea infuser or a cloth filter, add in the crushed cardamom seeds and shells, 4 pods of star anise, and 4 whole cloves. Close the tea infuser or tie up the cloth filter. Take a small saucepan, add in 4 cups of whole milk, turn on to medium-low heat, and bring this to a gentle boil. Keeping an eye on the milk, stir as needed to prevent it from bubbling over. Once it's at a gentle boil, add in 6 2-gram bags of black tea or 12 grams of tea total and the tea infuser full of spices. Let the tea and spices gently simmer in the milk for 5 minutes, then remove from the heat. Thai milk tea is traditionally made with either Assam or Ceylon black tea, and today we're using a mixture of both, so we'll get a combination of the strong Assam and smooth Ceylon flavors. Let the tea and spices continue to steep for 2 hours as the milk comes to room temperature to maximize the flavor. At this point, you can add an optional 1/8 teaspoon of orange food coloring to the milk tea and mix it in. The popular orange color of traditional Thai milk tea is from artificial coloring, and adding a little orange food coloring will help to imitate that. For an all-natural alternative, you can just leave out the orange food coloring and your resulting Thai milk tea pastry cream will have a natural light brown color. When the Thai milk tea has steeped for 2 hours at room temperature, remove the tea bags and infuser with spices. Then, in a medium saucepan, add in 8 egg yolks, half a can of sweetened condensed milk, which is about a 2/3 cup, 1/3 cup of cornstarch, and half a teaspoon of table salt. Whisk these together till they're well combined. Slowly add in the steeped room temperature Thai milk tea. While whisking to minimize lumps from forming, Turn on to medium heat and bring this mixture to a boil. Continue to whisk as it comes to a simmer to dissolve the cornstarch as much as possible. Once it starts to boil, continue cooking while whisking constantly for another 2 to 5 minutes or until the pastry cream thickens. This pastry cream should thicken up very quickly. You need to stir this constantly to make sure the mixture does not burn at the bottom.
The mixture actually needs to start boiling in order to activate the thickening property of the cornstarch.
Exactly. We start timing the 2 to 5 minutes from when the mixture starts bubbling and not from when the heat is turned on. When the mixture looks thickened like this, remove it from the heat. Add in 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter and whisk it in to melt. Then 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract and similarly whisk it in to combine completely. Then with a sieve, strain this mixture into a clean bowl so that we remove any remaining lumps. Cover the strained and smooth custard mixture with plastic wrap, pressing the plastic wrap against the surface of the custard. This will prevent a skin from forming as it cools. Let this pastry cream rest in the fridge for 2 to 3 hours or overnight to allow the pastry cream to finish thickening. If you're in a rush, put the saucepan in an ice bath, stirring occasionally to speed up the thickening process.
The crepe batter should have come to room temperature by now, so while we're waiting for the pastry cream to firm up in the fridge, we're going to cook the crepes. Take a 10-inch non-stick skillet or frying pan and heat it over medium heat. Using a pastry brush, coat the skillet with a small sliver of unsalted butter, about half a teaspoon of butter, just enough to coat the pan. The butter should sizzle when it hits the pan. Before each crepe, whisk the batter a bit to make sure it is uniformly mixed and nothing has settled at the bottom. Pour the batter into a 1/4 cup measure. Lift the pan off the fire and quickly pour all of the 1/4 cup of batter while simultaneously swirling the batter in the pan as you add the batter. Do not dribble it in slowly. Continue swirling the pan to move the batter and fill the middle as evenly as possible. Once the bottom of the pan is evenly coated, place it back on medium heat. We're making extra soft crepes for this cake, so the cook time is less than for usual crepes. We're only cooking the crepes for another 30 seconds, starting from when you place the pan back on the fire, just until the batter is set. Do not flip the crepe at all. When the batter is set, using a spatula, gently lift the crepe off the pan and transfer it to a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Adjust to smoothen them out as needed. The first couple of crepes may end up a bit soggy as they absorb excess butter from the pan, but the subsequent crepes should end up nice and golden brown. Repeat the same steps until all the batter is used up, but do not add any more butter to the pan. And make sure to mix the batter a little before each crepe, and again, do not add any more butter before making the subsequent crepes. Just pour in the 1/4 cup of batter while swirling to coat the pan evenly, making a circular shape, then placing the pan back on the heat for just 30 seconds, then carefully lifting off the crepe with a spatula. This recipe should make about 21 to 23 crepes total. We're only using 20 crepes for the cake, so you will have some extra batter for practice crepes in the beginning, which you can just eat after the cake is assembled. Stack the crepes on top of each other, slightly staggered, as each one gets done cooking. This will help the crepes stay soft and prevent them from drying out. When all the crepes are done, set them aside to finish cooling.
While we're waiting for the crepes to finish cooling, we're going to prepare the Thai milk tea cream filling. In the bowl of your stand mixer, add in 4 cups of very cold heavy cream, and with the whisk attachment, beat on medium speed till the whipped cream gains some volume, about a 50% increase in volume. Stop the mixer and add in the remaining half of the sweetened condensed milk, which should be about a 2/3 cup. Continue whipping on medium speed till the mixture is thick and billowy, forming medium to stiff peaks like this. Take the cold Thai milk tea pastry cream out of the fridge, remove the plastic wrap, and a little at a time, very gently fold it into the condensed milk whipped cream till it's uniform and smooth. This will be used as the Thai milk tea cream filling between the crepe layers.
Now we're ready to assemble the cake. Take a flat surface or a cake board that's 10 inches in diameter or larger, and place it on a revolving cake stand. Place the first crepe in the middle of the cake board. And make sure to set aside your best looking crepe for the very end, as this will be the top of your finished cake. Take a half cup measure and add a heaping half cup of the Thai milk tea pastry cream on top of the crepe. I'm using an offset spatula to spread it out evenly towards the edges while rotating the cake stand. Try to stop about 1/4 inch from the edge of the crepe and minimize getting cream on the sides of the cake. This will help create a cleaner looking design at the end. Add the subsequent crepes in the same way. Try to add the same amount of the Thai milk tea cream filling for each layer, a heaping half cup, so that the layers look evenly spaced when the cake is sliced. Repeat this with 20 crepes, so that there's a thin layer of Thai milk tea cream filling between each crepe. You should end up with 19 layers of filling and 20 layers of crepes. As mentioned earlier, be sure to finish with the last good-looking crepe on top. Cover the finished cake with a dome lid or plastic wrap. We're going to let this rest in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours, preferably overnight, for the cake to set and for the crepes to absorb all of that Thai milk tea cream filling. Slice and serve this cake chilled. This no-bake cake is made with delicate pastry cream with a subtle licorice flavor of Thai tea, sweetened with condensed milk, and layered between buttery crepes. Ang sarap!
Sarap. Yum!
So good. I love the subtle flavors from the black tea and spices.
I know, and I love how the fork easily cuts through the soft cream and lacy crepes.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please let us know in the comment section below if you're planning to make this Thai milk tea meal crepe cake. Send us pictures of your creations on Facebook and Instagram. The links are below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cooking with Kurt.
And don't forget to click on the bell so you get notified when we post new cooking videos.
Maraming salamat!